Well, thank you to the diehards that have come out to have a conversation this evening and share your thoughts, comments, questions, concerns. We were talking earlier that who would have thought when we scheduled this for mid-April last week that we'd have to postpone because of 7 inches of snow. But we did. I think it was the right call. Maybe we had more people that would have been planning on coming here to, last week until we postponed. But anyway, so today what we want to do is it's a community listening session. The format is here, introduction. I'm just going to do a brief statistical overview of 2017 citywide, so you kind of have an understanding of what's been going on from a call activity perspective citywide. A department overview where we can just talk about what the department looks like as far as its staffing, the things that we do and so forth. Looking forward, some things that are on my radar that I would like the department and the city to begin to pursue. But more importantly, the last bullet point is what we're really here for. It's that interaction with you folks. Open forum for questions, comments, conversation. What do you want to see from the police department as we look to shape our movement forward?
But I learned that if the calls for service is close or over the population, that's really a call-driven police force. I don't know where that came from.
It could be. You know, we look at total numbers, and then we also kind of look at types of calls as well. So a part one crime, which we can talk about in more detail as I work through the slides, are your crimes against persons. Those are going to take more time and more officers to investigate. A domestic disturbance involving a weapon or a battery, a significant battery, is going to take 2 or 3 officers probably. And if it involves any sort of lengthy investigation, you know, that could be a 2 or 3 hour process or more, depending upon the severity by the time an officer does reports and all of that stuff. Don, last December as interim police chief, had reached out to the Dane County Chiefs of Police Association when we started to observe that we were having a significant uptick in our motor vehicle thefts in particular, which kind of began around or just after the Labor Day holiday. We started talking to some of our neighbors, Madison in particular, and found out they were experiencing similar issues with motor vehicle thefts. We start comparing information on where crimes are happening, who might be committing those crimes. We start to identify that it looks like it's mostly a lot of juveniles, anywhere from probably 12 to 19, 20 years of age. And through the Chiefs Association, Don asked if any other agency is interested in partnering and seeing what we can do to try to have a positive impact on this. And he offered to spearhead the entire process. I think that first meeting there were 13 agencies in Dane County that came forward, shared information, who had been experiencing these sorts of crimes. Fitchburg, Madison, Wanakee, Cottage Grove, Oregon, Verona, I think the sheriff's office was there. You know, all these communities had been having similar issues as it relates to motor vehicle theft. And I probably won't be able to cover all of the things that we had done, but we had met with the district attorney's office and asked for their input and feedback on what things we could do in regards to this situation. We met with Pastor Allen at the Mount Zion Church, and he was kind enough to hold a couple of forums for us where we could also talk about the problem and get the information out in the community to seek their assistance if they knew of any kids that might be out engaging in that behavior, that maybe they could intervene in a positive way and steer them in a different direction. We met with the juvenile justices, juvenile court justices in February and did a presentation on the problem. Ways you can communicate with us. Our dispatch number is 270-4300. Ned always does a good thing where he suggests people pull out their phone during the talk and program that into their cell phones, so if they need it in a pinch, they're not trying to search and find it. And again, that connects you to our dispatcher, who again is a City of Fitchburg Police Department employee, and they can get you in touch with an officer or supervisor depending on whatever the situation is that you want to talk about. It's one of the nice things that we're still able to offer, is to be able to have that direct contact for a citizen. They don't have to work through a phone tree. They don't have to go down to a non-emergency number in a different location and get their call transferred out to us. You can get right to us. And again, you can immediately ask to speak to an officer and let the dispatcher know what the problem is. Or if you need to speak to a supervisor, you can ask to speak to the supervisor on duty. If you want to reach me directly, that's my contact information, my email address, which is also listed on the city's website, and then my direct phone number at the police department is listed there. That's also on the website as well. Feel free to use those. So now, of course, the real reason we're here, it's the time to have the question, comments, and conversation. So obviously I want to thank you guys for coming, and then, depending on the size of the group, they may go towards these investigations or incidents that might be of better handled in a one-on-one conversation. So if you have any of those, we'd be happy to converse one-on-one. But otherwise, right now, if you guys have any questions, comments, thoughts, concerns, any initiatives you want to see the department begin to undertake, those sorts of things, Ned has graciously volunteered to keep track of those for me so we can go back and compile that list after the sessions are done and see if there was any common themes and initiatives that we should really begin to take a look at. So